Youth homicide violence contributes to the global problem of premature death, often leaving an impact on youth psychological and social functioning. Each homicide case leaves behind friends, family members, and homicide survivors. In the song Life's a Bitch by Nas, he states that I'm destined to live the dream for all my peeps who never made it. Cause yeah, we were beginning in the hood as 5%ers. Now some resting in peace and some are sitting in San Quentin. Nas describes the relationship about growing up in the urban setting and seeing his brothers die or even going to jail. The Federal Bureau of Investigation reported in 2011 there were 6,309 black homicide victims in the United States. Blacks in the United States are disproportionately affected by homicide. For the year 2011, blacks represented 13% of the nation's population, yet accounted for 50% of all homicide victims. In the years 2000 through 2012, rates of youth homicide decreased in most countries, although the decrease has been greatly in high-income countries than in low- and middle-income countries. Maryland State was ranked number 19 in the black homicide victimization in the United States. Maryland reported 331 number of homicides per 100,000. The most common weapons used for homicides were guns, knives, and cutting instruments. In 2011, 82% of black victims were shot or killed with guns, 77% were killed with handguns, and 644% were killed with knives or other cutting instruments. As a professional social worker, we should do the following. Number 1, identify whether youth homicide violence is prevalent within the macro setting in the African American community. Number 2, identify whether the aftermath of experiencing youth homicide violence contributes to youth developing depression. Number 3, we should develop goals and objectives to decrease the behavior problems of depression within adolescent development. As social workers, we should first identify the problem within youth homicide violence, which is depression. Next, we should identify the behavior definitions within depression, which are the following: loss of interest, diminished interest and or enjoyment of activities, poor concentration, feeling of hopelessness, worthlessness, social withdrawal, depressed affect, low self-esteem. Long-term goals are the following: alleviate depressed moods and return to previous levels of effective functioning. Develop the ability to recognize, accept, and cope with feelings of depression. Develop healthy cognitive patterns and beliefs about self and the world that leads to alleviation of depressed symptoms. The short-term objectives are the following: verbally express understanding of the relationship between depressed moods and repression of feelings, that is, angry, hurt, sad, and so on. Describe the signs, symptoms of depression that are experienced. Identify cognitive self-talk that is engaged in to support depression. Replace negative and self-defeating self-talk with verbalization of realistic and positive cognitive messages. Make positive statements regarding self and the ability to cope with stresses of life. Decrease frequency of negative self-descriptive statements and increase frequency of positive self-descriptive statements. And implement a regular exercise regimen as a depression reduction technique. My name is Candace McDonald. I am a first-year graduate student in Morgan State School of Social Work. I feel that my training within my course makes me qualified to engage our youth who struggle with depression because I understand the black victimization of homicide within the urban setting, which negatively impacts adolescent psychological and social functioning.